Papa Bears in the house.
There's blood in my stool!
That's normal.
You might want to get that looked at, man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of God damn it. Welcome to another episode of BPMs, where Boo Boo, Papa, and Mango come to you to talk about all the facets of the music
I broke
industry.
your intro. I'm so happy.
You do it quite often, actually. I am Blaine, a.k.a. Papa Bear. To my left is Jan the photographer.
Hi.
And to my right is Kyler, Superfan number uno.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So today we decided to come to you guys and have a little bit of a different kind of topic. Instead of talking to you about like different facets of the music industry and how you can promote your band or how you can get that perfect lighting for a photography shot, setting up audio gear, etc., we decided let's talk about the fans, because it's probably the most important part of the music industry. You ain't got the fans, you ain't going nowhere. I can tell you that right now. So we brought on Kyler, who is a super fan in mine and Jan's books for everything that he does in this industry as a supporter of music. We absolutely notice. No. And anybody worth their salt would notice that too.
Yes.
It's one of those things where it really just in general is the most important facet of the music
I would say
scene.
so.
Without fans, you don't make more music because there's no one listening to it.
No, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I have photographed half-empty venues plenty of times, but the fuller they get and the more enthusiastic people in those venues are, the better a show will look, the more reason a band has to play, the more merch they get to sell. Fans are what keeps these shows going.
Absolutely.
But we don't want to just talk about just fans for being a purchase horse. We also want to talk about
But it helps.
But it helps.
But it helps.
We also want to talk about the fact that it's like, what do the fans want from us as promoters? What can we do better in our scene? As photographers, what is it that's those moments that we're not capturing that the fans are capturing? You know, there's so many different facets to this that everything revolves around your fans. Whether you're making merch, playing shows, promoting yourself, it all comes down to we have to touch base with you. You are the most important element when it comes to the music scene. And a lot of people don't understand that concept and they get egos or they just think that's like, oh, my music will speak for itself. Yeah, that's true. But if nobody's listening to it, who fucking cares?
Very valid point.
I mean, there's a lot of bands out here that are playing to the other bands on the bill and maybe their moms and dads who are showing up. And that's about it. And while that's a starting point, and that's great, you want to grow past that. And I think understanding what your fans want from you is just so massively important.
Exactly. Because once you understand what your fans are looking for, you will know which directions to take to reach those fans and grow your fan base. So, without that being said, Kyla, let's kind of bug you for a second and kind of just get to know you for a moment. So
let the probing begin.
Let the probing begin.
I see Jan's eyes. He's got the foreign instruments going at me.
Oh, yes, he does. So one of the first things I kind of want to touch base with is what made you fall in love with like music? Let's start there.
Oh, dude.
Or if you want more specifically, the music scene.
The live music scene.
I was pretty much born into that because my dad used to play shows around here in the band Redline with Sheldon Buck, Troy Pelletier, playing all over at the Sizzler, the Stakeout. And it's something I was born into, and I was surrounded by it, and it's something I just learned growing up. It became second nature. And seeing it come back around here in my 20s to where I'm able to help out and observe the scene and help it grow, it just makes it so much more fun.
Yeah. Awesome. So you were raised up in a music home then?
Oh yeah, I was raised on rock.
Okay, so and you know, you'll find a lot of fans are actually that way. They were raised within a certain household of style, and I usually will find that the super fans usually come from families that had musicians in them.
In my experience, it's either people who come from musicians, particularly rock musicians, or they're people who come from extremely religious households where, you know,
rebellion.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Both of those make perfect sense in that aspect. Okay, so cool.
Yeah.
So you were kind of bred and born into this. It was the butter to your toast, and you just sprinkled some cinnamon on top to make it all worth it. It's pretty much what you're saying, right?
Pretty much.
Okay, I'll accept brown sugar.
Brown sugar. It's even better.
Wow.
Always makes it
Even
better.
better. Hey, man, poor people life, okay?
Yeah, no,
That's a delicacy. Ain't no poor people life on that one.
So, would you even say that you consider yourself to be a super fan? In reality.
Yeah,
I'd say modesty kind of gets in the way of that. I wouldn't consider it super fan, but
it's okay.
it helps me and eases my mind to go and do that. It's almost therapy.
that's
Okay.
fair.
And helps me forget about the world and like, all right, this is where happiness is right here.
So, I mean, I think that's right. It actually ties into the last episode we did as well, where, you know, that there is definitely something to be said for not just the music, but the community and that part that comes with it. And I think, you know, Kyler, you're not just part of the shows, but part of the community as well, right? How much of that plays into it for you?
It just kind of goes hand in hand, to tell you the truth. If there's anything I could do to help or benefit and make the show even better, of course I'm going to sacrifice myself for it. I mean,
Oh, you've sacrificed.
Yeah,
let's talk about the time I lost the bet to Blaine publicly.
We'll get to that. We'll
Oh,
get
yeah,
to that because we're going to have some wonderful moments we're going to share. Don't you worry about that for even a fraction of a second. We got a whole
search
section.
history.
Yes. So for live music, you've been bred, you've been raised up around it. So as far as that's concerned, okay, we understand that part. But what does going to live music mean for you? Like, what are the benefits that come to you from going to live music that keep you wanting to go to it? What makes you excited about live music?
Probably the best thing I can say that honestly always keeps me going is the community that is there, and there's no problems of the outside world that comes in. Once the music starts, we're just all in there together. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, gay, straight, old, young, smart, dumb, where you're from, what you make. We're all there. We've become brothers and sisters of the same community, and we're there to grow, and that's something that I really love and admire because we don't see that at all anymore.
Right. It's definitely one of those things that's the reason why I got into the promoting side, is because I didn't want to see shows disappear, because that was, when I was younger, where I found my inclusion in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Being an outcast at school and being poor and having all those problems growing up, going to live music was like, hey, we're family here. It doesn't matter.
It is a really great equalizer to go to a show.
It is.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter if you're there to get drunk. It doesn't matter if you're there to just see your buddies. It doesn't matter if you're just there to hear good vibes. One way or another, you're all there. You're all partying together, and it's all for the sake of we're here together. And I think that's what the most important part for me is, for the music aspect, is to keep trying to find those ways to keep everybody feeling like this is a home. And I mean, that's literally what I built the basis of Papa Bear and Associates on, is this is family. This is home. I want somewhere where all of us can feel like we belong somewhere.
Exactly. The unity is what just makes it so much better. Like, yeah, we always have amazing bands. We always have fun things to do. You got the giveaways. You got different things you know do to me. And
I like that you just let that do to me.
But
I want to
ultimately,
put
it's
music under that. You know that, right?
careless whisper in the back. But it's just the unity and togetherness that we have that just makes everything damn near perfect.
Yeah. And I agree.
Yeah.
That's why I started doing like the fun little events too, where it's like we play the little games to win free prizes and stuff. And one of those moments of yours being the great Kyle off, where we had you slam down a monster and punch through drywall. Yeah, boy. That was so fucking stupid and great at the same time. But that's the point. Is like, I love those little things where it's like, I know that I can grab you at any moment, and you're like, we're just here to have fun. Who cares? Yeah. I don't give a shit. I might look retarded. I don't give a fuck. I wear a Captain Dad Bod costume. I know I look retarded, but it's for the sake of fun. You know, I don't care. It's here to have a good time together. But no, that's awesome. So going off of that, you know, you considering yourself, you know, modestly that you're not really a super fan. So I kind of want to touch on some of the things. Tell me how you feel, or actually, I'll let you give some examples, and then we'll throw some examples that we've had of why we think you're a super fan. What do you do to try to help with making shows bigger, stand out, promoting them, supporting them? What are some of the things that ring in your head instantly when you think of like, man, there's a show coming? What's your next step?
X.
I'm like, all right, what can I do to myself that's not going to break a bone or cause me to bleed? Because then the insurance of the place goes to the roof, and no one wants to do that. But I'll usually think of different things that can be done in between the sets for different giveaways, or if he's busy doing something, I'm like, all right, what can they do to me instead? Or what can Jan do? Because, he's just standing over there in the corner. Let's not lie.
Right.
Probably.
Pretending he has a fancy camera.
Yeah, I see it. It's just...
It's
you got to
right
take that
there.
Take the sticker off, man. That really says Canon.
Okay, let me rephrase the question
Yeah.
just a little bit more for you. You're on Facebook.
Okay.
You've just seen, oh man, Papa Bear and Associates just listed a show. What are your next steps from there?
Usually, always, naturally, I got to hit the share button, make sure it's on my profile, first of all. Then I bug the holy shit out of everyone on the friends page. Invite everyone. I'll call different radio stations sometimes, just be like, hey, I know that y'all don't really promote this, but in case you want to hang out, this is here. There are those times where I've printed out the promotional posters and just went to the mall and, strategically put them in
Right. You
certain
put them in
windows.
Hot Topic, dude. It's fine. We get it.
No, I did not go to Hot Topic. I went everywhere
You
else.
slap them onto the cigarette butt containers.
Hey, man, Bath & Body Works really did not see it coming.
I bet they didn't.
Cinnabon really liked to play, though.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Get them cinnamony buns.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Got to get the extra drizzle.
So, and that's kind of the stuff that I'm talking about right
Yeah.
there. Like right out the gate, you as a fan, you saw, hey, there's a show coming. Oh, shit. I need to share this on my page. Number one, that helps us out immensely because of the algorithms that are out there on Facebook and all the other social media platforms. They like to limit our reach. So the more people are sharing it, the more people are commenting on it, and the more people that are liking it, that helps raise the number that it's allowed to show to people. So, for instance, let's say I have 2,000 friends. Odds are probably if I post it, maybe 30 people will see it.
And that's something that's really, this is my day job, is marketing, and Facebook's a lot of it. At the end of the day, Facebook doesn't really like it when you post something as a business or as an event organizer. What they like is when you pay them.
Right.
And that's really all Facebook cares about nowadays, is how much you pay them for your reach. And
Same with the radio stations.
same with the
Same
radio
with the radio
stations.
stations.
Local marketing is not as grassroots as it used to be, which is to a degree is fair. At some point, people do have to be paid. We see the same thing in music,
Right.
But yeah, no, there's big players like Facebook who control that market, and God knows that getting your name out there, getting an event out there, can be very difficult if you don't have that incredibly massive organic reach, or you get lucky and you put out a promo video and it goes viral. But then the chances are it's gonna go viral in the wrong part of the country
Right.
2 weeks after you have a show.
Right.
I was about to say, well, after the show's already done.
Right.
So, but that's one of the things that's like right out the gate that can make you a super fan. It sounds so stupid, and you've heard every band talk about it, and you've seen posts about it on social media. I'm more than positive of that. And it's one of those things. A simple share, like, and a comment goes so far.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you, 10 seconds? If you're
that,
making
yeah.
a typed up post with it as well, maybe a
Yeah.
minute, And it's,
No, that's only you because you try and make them rhyme, okay? That's not everyone else.
I like rhyming.
I know.
It's great for timing.
Here we go.
And this is the rest of the podcast.
It is.
I really expect you to go and rhyme for the rest of it now.
No, I can't.
Good luck.
Riddle me this,
Goddamn.
motherfucker.
But it's one of those things that, when you get around to the actual aspect of it, like I said, I might make a post and only 30 people are going to see that. Not by my choice. Facebook algorithm
Yep.
is going to dictate who does and who doesn't.
And on a business page, it's even worse because typically what Facebook will do is it'll share it onto the timeline of about 10% of your following.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's good engagement there, it'll share it to 20% of your following, 30, and so on.
But it
So-
also has a cap.
It
And-
does have a cap.
So from what
Well-
people can see
Yes and no. It's
To a degree. It has a cap from what it will show you based off of what you have. But if other people start sharing it,
Right.
then you get more pings on it.
Yeah, that's where the organic reach really comes into play within Facebook. It's the sharing. It is
Right.
And it's the endorsement. It's not just, hey, I shared this. It's, hey, I shared this and wrote something with it. Hey, I left a comment on it and then I shared it. That means more to Facebook than just, I hit the share button on this. I did my part. I'm like, no, it's great.
And we
But you
appreciate
can do
it.
more.
Do not get me wrong.
It is great. But the extra 5 seconds to where it's like, hey, there's a show next week. Right there, you've reached 40 more people.
Yeah.
And as out of those 40 more people,
Say 2 more share, 3 more share. That's another.
3 buy a ticket, it helps put gas in the band's tank.
Yes. Well, it also helps the business get more people drawn in. It really blows me away. And we try to, as musicians and promoters, we try to stress it enough. And that's why you see those posts and all that stuff. But Kyler, as soon as he sees one of mine, he throws a like. He'll throw a comment in there like, oh, yeah, boy, or I can't wait. You know, something as simple as that does change the algorithm of the viewing process. Then for him to hit that share button, throw it out there and put like a little thing like, I hope you're all ready because X, Y, and Z are going to come back and tear this place apart, you know.
I mean, you got to have some form of hype there. You got to play it up. You got to.
Hey, guys, we're going to have a show soon.
Gather
It's gonna
people's
be really
attention.
fun.
Well, but I mean, but like you said, it could just be the share button.
No, yeah.
With no typing whatsoever. Because he's willing to type and put that like, oh, yeah, X, Y, and Z are coming back. This is going to be hyped as shit.
Yeah.
And then you
makes a
share
difference.
it makes a difference. Now, his is going to have a higher algorithm than what it would have been if he just pushed the share button only and just sent it as a blank share. These are little things that we've never taught Kyler this. He does this on his own.
Actually, we've talked about it on the podcast. I'm sure he's listened.
Well, that's fine, but he's been doing it far
Yeah.
before we started
No,
the
that's true.
podcast. And you guys don't realize like how far that goes to us. I really like but hate at the same time that like Facebook has that you've been recognized as a top fan.
Yeah.
But the thing that's super cool about that is it lets us know as musicians and promoters that when you hit that, that means you are liking, you are commenting, you are sharing. We know that, holy shit, this person is going out of their way and helping us make this a reality and reach more people. Because not every band has the money to be like, oh, I'm going to throw $50 at this every time I have a show. It's expensive.
It is.
And that really helps us a long way. So past sharing it, though, you go and you do the next important topic that we can't stress enough. You hit that invite button.
Every
you
fucking
actually
time.
hit it.
Well, and it's not just the button, because I mean we can talk about Facebook there, but it's in general going and checking on people that they're going to.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you, there's been so many times that Kyler in particular, others as well, but Kyler really stands out. I think our message history on Facebook, other than memes and stupid shit, is a lot of like, are you going tomorrow? Or hey, are you going to be there tonight? Back and forth between the two of us. And it's that quick like, hey, it's not just a matter of making sure people are going. It helps people like, oh, there's got to be someone there that I know that's, you know, a somewhat tolerable human being. Yay.
Yay.
It helps. It really does. And it's the engagement. It's, you know, it's not just I'm on social media and I'm doing this. No, it's an element of your social life. And that is a massive part of it.
So, yeah.
So, yeah, take the praise, Kyler.
Take the praise, Kyler.
Take it right there.
So now we've gotten past that part. The invite side is Facebook pretty much oriented, but he's right. He reaches out to his community. He talks with his friends. He's like, hey, are you guys going? He's always constantly following up on that. He's sharing music videos from the bands. He's sharing the posts that are made in the events. That's fantastic. The other thing that he was talking about was that he actually printed off his own flyers and went and did it. Had I known that he was doing that on his own, I would have been like, bro, I'll print you off the damn flyer so it doesn't cost you any ink or paper, and I will give them to you if you're down to do that.
Because yes, the cost of ink and paper is just whoo-wee.
No, but if he's... But
Hey
if
man,
he also-
lumber is through the fucking roof. You be
That's
easy
true.
on the
That's
paper.
true. That's true.
Right. It's one of those things, though, that it's like, holy shit, you know, he's doing my job. Like, as a promoter, I should be making flyers and putting that stuff out there and doing that. And that's what good promoters do. He's already doing it for me. Holy shit. That puts me like 5 steps ahead of like, holy hell, you're already helping me out with this process and getting that visual eyesight of like, oh, hey, there's a show in town. That's awesome, because sometimes we don't reach out to the right people, and maybe there's someone who's just coming through town for an event, and they're like, hey, I need something to do tonight. Hey, what's that? You know, it really goes a long way knowing that you were willing to take the time to do that, and I didn't even have to ask.
The other thing too is, you know, as a member of the community, you're gonna know your friend's musical taste better than a promoter is gonna.
Oh yeah.
Like you know, somebody who knows me and is like, hey, there's gonna be somebody coming through playing metal on bagpipes. Somebody who knows me is gonna be like, dude, you're gonna be there, right?
I mean, I'd be there.
Well, yeah, you would too, because it's fucking funny as shit.
It's not funny. I
well,
mean,
it's fun. It's fun.
the band that turned me to metal was Korn.
That's
I mean,
true.
Jonathan Davis
That's
is known
true.
for bagpipes.
But yeah, okay, let me rephrase it. I'm
And the
wearing a
kilts,
little
he's got
shirt.
everything.
The singer, when he's not singing, plays a flute.
Out of his butt.
I was going to say the skin flute, and the third song's going to be the Wellerman, but
Anal seepage.
I am. This is a
the
disaster.
brown note has
But
been
no,
commenced.
Okay. All right. So let's kind of get back on focus for a second.
Yeah, no, it's like you know what
So-
your friends would listen to, and the fact that you know that means that you get the right people to the show more than a promoter could.
And, you know, to some degree, I think the promoter should know their community if they...
To a degree, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, like, I know everybody that walks through that building almost 99% of the time.
True.
Because I actually am an actual face and understand the people and like, hey, I know you.
But
You're
that's,
new.
But
Oh,
that's
you're a friend
our
of theirs.
scene.
Got it.
That's our scene. I'm
Right.
talking in general as a promoter. You might not know everyone coming to the show, especially the bigger your scene gets.
Oh, especially bigger areas,
Yeah,
too, like
you know,
Seattle
if you're in a metro area, you're not gonna know everyone who walks through that door. I mean, you can try, but it's that alone is going to be a full-time job.
Challenge accepted.
Fight.
But it's one of those
Yeah.
things. Like, we just want you guys to understand. Like, there's things that you can do as a fan that go really far. The other part that I'd like to get into is I want to talk to you about the special little when we first started like communicating. Like, we started like, oh shit, you're gonna be a homie. Like, we're gonna be getting down on this for a minute. Kyler used to bring me stuff
Oh, God.
to give away at shows. So, like, one of the big things I do is I do giveaways. We'll have fun little events. We'll do little games. We've done hot dog eating contests. We've done beer chugging contests. We've done the Kyle off where you slam a monster and punch through
You made
drywall,
random members of the crowd do metal screams, which is just amazingly hilarious.
which is always fun to do because
Always.
everyone's like, no. Oh, okay. You handed me a mic. Thanks. Especially the girls. The girls love getting down on the metal scream ones.
Almost
But-
every time they're better anyway.
Yeah, right? Fuck. I'm just like, God damn it. Now I have to quit my band again. But it's one of those things where you were coming to me and you were like, oh, well, hey, I've got like this. What were some of the things you gave me? You gave me a Link shield,
I
which
gave you
I
the-
ended up keeping because that thing was dope. And I was like, I'll give away something else. I'll buy something in pertinence to that.
Let's say I gave you the Master Shield, which is in the other room right now. I gave you the fucking sword from Blade.
Yep, you gave me the sword from Blade. I think you gave me Freddy claws too at one
Yep,
point.
I
didn't
gave
you?
you certified Freddy Krueger claws that were authentic steel. Gave out the Raptor Claw bottle openers.
Yep,
We still have one upstairs.
we do.
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
But I mean, it was just cool that you were
Yeah.
just like, dude, I love what you're doing. Here, I've got some stuff if you want. And I was just like, you want to just give me free stuff to give away? Like, this has dollar value on it. Like, I don't, you don't have to do that. And you're like, no, man, I want to support this stuff. And I'm a big geek and a nerd. And I know that you are too. I was like, hell yeah, this shit's dope. That's why I'm like, you sure you want to get rid of it?
Like,
You're
I've seen your tattoos. Don't be modest.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
We all know.
It's one of those things where it's just like, it was cool to see somebody get so excited and see what I was doing and be like, I want to help do that. Whenever we do like the games and the giveaways, you're always like, oh, you should go do that. You should go do that. You know, like, get up there. Don't be afraid of it to your buddies in the crowd. And it's just like, it's cool to see you get excited. And then it's even more fun when you get involved as well. Cause I'm just like, yeah, my boy, get him. You know?
Plus, the positive energy that it comes with, it's like having a plant in the crowd. It's just great.
It really is. I mean, it's like, you are my super secret agent squirrel. You know, it's like, you goes bite his testicles, make him do stuff.
Yes, fearless
The other
leader.
thing, too, is when I first started out working with Blaine as a photographer, I cannot like there has to be like at least 5 or 6 times that I was just like coming in a little early, and I was like, okay, saying hi to the bands, and then you'd come in about an hour before the show started as well. It's like, here's tacos, here you go.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Feed your ass. Yep.
It was always so fucking awesome of you because it's
Yes.
just like, dude, you guys are putting in work. You guys need any food? You know, I fucking slammed all day when it's show day, and I was like, oh yes, I do need to eat. What the hell?
Like, fuck, free Taco John's? Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Plus, it also meant that I didn't have to terrorize the sound guys for their pizza.
Their filthy Hawaiian pizza.
Nasty.
You know what? There comes a time where you're just like, food though.
Right. You eat what you got. So a couple of other things I want to say too. So like Kyler was really cool. And one of the things that he did was we were trying to get more comments, likes, subscribers, things like that. And one of the fun ones was that he was like, if we can get this many comments, I will let people smash eggs on my head at the show. And I was like, oh, okay, well, started throwing about at your comments. And he's like, oh, you cheating bastard. And I was like, you didn't play the rules right. So
I'm like, there's no specification. There's no asterisk. Fuck you.
right? It's just like, well, screw you. I'm doing this. Either way, he was still a fucking sport about it. He came out. We have pictures, which we will put up right here. So that way you can see what it looks like when we got to let little kids and adults come up and just smash eggs on his head between sets.
I like how you paused for that. You know, I can show it without pausing the whole thing.
I know, but if I go like this, they think my rod's that big, and it's awesome.
That's a
not
great
how it
fishing
works.
story.
Well,
I
Bro.
know.
it's
It was
not.
horrible. That was a bad joke. Bad.
Yeah. Wow.
Bad Yogi.
You're bad at this.
I know. I'm
Fuck,
sorry.
I still have occasional head pains from that show because last person who hit me was Pixie, and she had a ring on. And it was the wolf ring, and the wolf head was upside down and hit the dead top spot of my head. I was, oh, fuck.
Coma.
I
mean- Did you piss her off beforehand? Is that what happened?
fuck, no, I don't. We didn't even know each other. It was right before that. We got the tin hat.
Yeah.
That was before all of that, so
That's
he didn't
true.
know Pixie at that
Yep.
point. But it was cool, too, because he was down to let kids get involved with it. He was down to... My boys actually got to smash a couple eggs on his head.
Always, man. Family's important when it comes to this thing, man.
And that's just it, too, is it's like you're supportive of kids, you're supportive of all ages, you're supportive of the adults who just want to drink and have fun. I mean, anything and everything, you've been down to be like, yeah, let's do what we can. Hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do this. And I'm like, fuck, dude, if you're down, let's do it. In all fairness, though, he got to reverse roll that one on me because then I put up, if I get so many comments and likes and stuff like that, that I would take and let my kids pour chocolate syrup and friggin' nasty whipped cream and peanut butter and everything and anything we could find. And yeah, they completely decimated my body.
I was almost let down with that day because you were just so accepting of it until your wife got the hose on you and it was just fucking really cold water. And I was
Right.
like, oh, okay, this is much better now.
The clean off of that was so horrible. I was like, Jesus, oh God, no, why are you doing? No, rinse me. Don't just freeze my balls. What the?
I'm sitting here like, fuck, that's a word, that's a word, that's a word. That's not even English. Holy shit, okay, cool.
But yeah, so one of the things that's cool about being a super fan too is just getting involved out there, just doing your thing.
And I kind of want to touch on being involved. It doesn't just limit itself to shows.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, like we're talking about right now, all of this stuff, you know, maybe the final result happened at the show where all the people that were commenting and stuff could actually visually see it, but we're doing it on social media. We're doing it at group gatherings, you know. One of the things that I love too is that you're very avid about having your community and throwing out offers like, hey, let's go see a movie. Hey, let's go and get together and do go-karts or
Bowling.
friggin' bowling, you know, anything and everything. You're down to invite people to have fun. And that's awesome because it really helps that community as well realize it's not just here that we can be a community. We can be community anywhere. We can be friends anywhere. We can hang out. We can be people. And that's awesome because so many people forget that it's like we're human beings away from the shows too. We still need friends. We still need a life. Shows only come so often, so we got to make the most of the time that we have.
Yeah, and that kind of because we're not. I mean, this is entirely for me, but it also means that, you know, it's not just the human being part of it. It is also the professional part of it for me. I'm a photographer outside these shows as well. If you enjoy my pictures at shows, you want to take family photos, hi, I'm right here.
Family photos, wedding photos,
Not your
bar
weddings.
mitzvahs.
Fuck your weddings.
I've tried barking up that tree. Failure. Mayday.
But outside of
You wouldn't
that,
do your bar mitzvah?
No, he wouldn't even show up to my bris. What an asshole.
I mean, fuck, bro.
I said I'd come for just the tip.
Cut.
Snip.
But no, it's, you know, if you put money in my pocket with photography, I can probably end up spending it on buying new lenses I'll be photographing your friends' bands with.
It's true. So, Kyler, I want to get some more direct questions from you. And
You want his answers? Do you want his
I
questions?
want his answers.
That's what's going on here.
Jesus God.
I'm like, who's doing the interview?
Here we go.
This
Fucking
podcast is
A.
horrible.
So here are some things that
Who
I
signed
want
off
to know.
on this?
What are some things that you think shows need to do better for their fans? Now, obviously, me and you have a relationship, and if there's something that I'm doing wrong, please throw it at me now, in public, in front of everybody, so they can laugh at me.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
All
thankfully,
45
Jan
of
has
you who've made it this far.
Thankfully, Jan has a zoom on his camera, so people might be able to finally see me.
But, I mean, one of the things is that, like, I know you go to shows other than just mine. What are some things that you see as a fan that you wish shows or the venue or the bands were doing to make the experience better for you?
I would probably say, because anytime I'm at your shows, it's just, I don't have to even really do anything. I don't even have to think. It's just autopilot. I just do. And, like, I go to the shows at the Parkade occasionally. I go to the shows at the Emerald. It's, obviously, it's still music. We're still there. We're still able to bullshit with each other. But more often than not, I'm spending more time hanging out with y'all and everyone else than I am paying attention to who's on stage. Mm-hmm. It's not, it just doesn't feel as inviting as it does, like, when we're at your shows. You're being Papa Bear, you're being silly bitch, like, here, look at my picnic basket. And all of a sudden, whoa. But
All of this is very true.
Yeah.
it's like, shit, his blueberries are out.
Oh, God.
What's in the box, Blake?
Yeah, what's
I
in
do
the
not.
fucking box?
Let me clarify, I do not expose myself at shows. Other people have exposed themselves at shows, but
I was about
I
to
do
say,
not.
Cooper. But
Happy cupcake.
like I said, it's just, you're more inclusive would be the right word. You're there with everyone, and when you're not running the sound table for 5 minutes and you want to take a break from that, you feel you can coast for the next song or two. You're out there bullshitting with all of us and having fun, prancing around. No one else does that. And that's what makes me feel so much better at your place. Like, okay, this person definitely, even if you're not someone like me or anyone who doesn't know you, you're still new. Like, fuck, this guy gives a flying fuck. It's a whole different story. Mm-hmm. I want to come here more because he's partying around. He's giving out free shit. He's got attention. Like, that's what makes it all the better at your shows. And I wish other people could do that a little more instead of just, all right, up now we have Mule for 15 minutes. As opposed to,
Don't get me wrong. Do
Ladies
love
and
me a 15-minute
gentlemen.
mule set.
Jesus Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Mule, and once you come back, good Lord, cuddles and nipple touches everywhere, and
The
everyone's like,
bass
all
player
right.
might get naked. Tanner, we know. We know.
So I
Beat me by 2
think more or
seconds. He
less,
rolled a nat one.
I think more or less what you're kind of
Yeah.
getting at is the fact that it's like
It's the
you
engagement.
like that you see that there's like an actual host.
Yes.
So you like that host mentality and not just the like, hey, I went up and said, hey guys, up next is gonna be you
You're
know,
emceeing it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's well no, but I mean it's more like, hey guys, up next is gonna be Mule, since we already used
Yeah.
that example, which again, 15-minute Mule set, they're still great.
But play
But-
longer than that, please.
If you just came up and said, up next is Mule, and then you get off stage, and then it's quiet, and then you see bands shuffling around, music background playing, and then people kind of go outside, and then they kind of come back in whenever they feel
Hopefully.
like.
Yeah, and sometimes
Hopefully.
they don't come back in because they don't feel that inclusion. Like, all right,
Admittedly,
well,
at least
this person
Mule-
hyped them up. Like, I don't know that band. Like, all right, how he hyped it up, I got to see this.
At least Jim can run outside with his guitar because he's on wireless.
Well, I mean, I have a wireless mic, so I can
know.
also run outside and be like, hi guys, what you doing out here? Oh, we're all smoking. and
Wayne, where are your
drinking.
pants?
Where are my pants? Oh my God.
Jim, wear your shoes.
But I think what you're looking for too isn't just the fact that it's just like emceeing and hyping up the band. You also see me get out there with the crowd. When I
Exactly.
get a chance, I want to jump around with all of you. When I get a chance, I want to do fun stuff in between the sets, so it's not just downtime. You have too much downtime, people don't want to hang out. They end up like, oh, well, hey, we should go get something to eat, and they wander off, or things of that nature. I like to have fun and events to keep you entertained, because that's at the end of the day what it is. You're coming to a show to be entertained.
And you're there not just as a promoter or a business person, you're there as an actual fan of the entirety itself.
Exactly.
So you're there having fun as well as doing your job, but making sure everyone else is still happy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've run into each other at much bigger shows than Papa Bear shows.
Yes.
You know, when we're talking about stadiums, we're talking about people where there's, you know, head counts in the thousands. Because you still enjoy those shows.
Yeah.
What's the difference for you?
The difference being at like our shows, you have the localness. You've got the people who are still up and coming, so they're willing to try and get a little closer to you. They're willing to have a little more fun. They're willing to be more inclusive, as opposed to like if you're going to see bands like Breaking Benjamin or Ginger in a big coliseum, they're there to do their job and kind of get out. Or occasionally they might just be like, we've got 5 or 10 minutes. We'll be behind section H if you want to get a picture or hang out.
That's fair.
At our shows, they'll just be like, all right, yeah, we'll pack up the van. But a lot of them still hang out. Just be like, yeah, man, we had a lot of fun. Thanks for the compliments. We'll be playing like the Crier next week if you want to come hang out. I'm like, yeah, all right. You get
Fair. It's the grassroots part of it.
Exactly.
Really. Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
So here's a question for you then. You've said as far as like the venue side, you wish more people would MC and like be involved with the show and the crowd and showing that they actually love what's going on at that event at that time.
Yeah.
What are some things that the bands can do to help the fans to make the experience better for you? Like, and I find a lot of bands really just rely on like hey, we got up on stage and our music speaks for itself. But what are the things that you're looking for as a fan to really like hook you on that band, to grab you and build a relationship with that band that you want to be a super fan for them?
I think a good example for that, I think, would be Steak Sauce Mustache.
Oh, God. I just want you to know that this show is going to be ran by Steak Sauce Mustache at some day.
Yeah.
We've all talked about them on so many episodes.
It doesn't look like
they're
it, but Taylor's
out running
under
around
this table right now.
Jesus Christ.
If you do not make a little head that pops up and like blows you a kiss or something, I'm going to be so pissed.
He'll be out running around in the fucking tank top and diaper, just being silly bitch. He'll have pool noodle sword fights and shit, the confetti that goes everywhere. I'm like, this is totally different. This is weird. I don't see this a lot. I want more of it.
Steak Sauce is performance art.
Exactly.
It's not even just live
Absolutely.
music, it's performance
Their
art.
performance is just a deal of its
Yeah.
own.
Like, they give you the show, the performance, exactly. You're nailed in the head. And so, like I said, the inclusion and being close to the actual band themselves, when they're willing to talk to you and have, like what you and I do, we can talk about something that's not even music and still be able to have fun with a lot of it. Like, it really opens your eyes. Like, yeah, they are just regular dudes named Blaine, Jan, Cody, Doug down the road. And that's what makes it easier and more fun for me. Like, you're not just here for the music. You're definitely here to hang out and still be a person.
Yeah, I think that's a massive part. I think a lot of people might underestimate that how much being in a band is a social commitment. If you want to do it right, if you want to engage with fans, it is very much a social job. If you want to take it seriously.
Oh, yeah. No, I absolutely agree. I mean, the one thing that I am definitely known for in my band is that I am the guy who will be at the merch table talking to everybody. I am the guy that will be there like, what do you want to do? Yeah,
You're at
let's go in the
everybody's
pit
merch
together.
table talking to everybody.
This is true, but that's usually at the shows. But it's one of those things where it's like, it really is a great social commitment to know that you can talk to an artist and not just be like oh yeah, thanks for coming out tonight. Really appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed the show. And then walk away. That's not interacting with your fans. That's cool. You acknowledge their existence for 5 seconds, and as a musician, sometimes you don't have a ton of time, but even if you can just take a few minutes and just chat for a minute, or like, hey, I got to put my gear away real quick. I'll catch up with you here in just a moment, but let me get this situated. Let the fan know that it's like, I'm right in the middle of something, but I do want to acknowledge you. I do want to talk to you. I want to see what you thought and throw questions at me. Let's just have a fun chat. Dude, I love your shirt, Hey, yeah, I know that movie. That movie was awesome, directed by such and such, And it's cool when you can start going down that rabbit hole. I think a couple episodes back I brought up that I met a guy that does ice sculpting with chainsaws on his off time, and I was like, that is dope. Like, I would have never known that had he not been willing to talk to me.
To go back to your previous point, though, if you're going to drag movie trivia into it, don't do it with Kyler. Don't. You'll make a fool of
Do it
yourself.
with Kyler. That's where you'll earn that super fan right.
But see, that's what I like about, like, Stress Fed. Like, I can talk with you. I can talk with John. I could talk to even Brandon all day long about different random shit.
Yeah, but Mark and Billy suck.
No,
Mark's too busy building the guitars. He's doing other stuff.
I'm just being a dick. You're all wonderful people.
Mark and Billy, I think, are the two that are more of the anxiety-driven out of the group. No, this is truth. Because, I mean, like you were saying, the bands don't realize how much of a social commitment it is. But that doesn't mean every one of your members is going to be the social butterfly. Sometimes you have to figure out who is and who isn't.
Well, see, here's a perfect note. Like, when it comes to Billy, I feel like he speaks without speaking, kind of like his aura or the shirts he's wearing. Like, I still think the greatest fucking thing in the world is when he first told me what Billy does for a living, and he was wearing a shirt that said "No Lives Matter."
Yeah.
Billy in my band is a nurse for a hospital, and he saves people's lives every fucking day. So,
And I'm like, I've been doing comedy 16 years. I've never been that funny. I'm like, dude, this is fucking great.
It's so nice to have a bass player intentionally be funny.
yeah, it's always a positive benefit.
Or even like because with you, we're here at your house. We'll come over for barbecues and get-togethers, or have Jan beat every one of our asses at fucking Smash every goddamn time.
I stand a chance with Piranha.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
he does.
Yeah, Piranha Plant is the only, like...
Bowser's my boy, too.
On Mario Kart.
No, Bowser on Smash holds a good record, too.
Yeah, he does okay.
I do okay. I hold my own. Don't you
I'm not
dog my
here enough,
skills.
folks.
Don't you dog my skills.
And then there's...
That's what we're doing after this, motherfucker.
God damn it. And then there's bands like Rising Enemy, to where they're just really into their fans. Fuck, we were all part of the music video, and we were all part of the actual recording itself.
Mm-hmm. And that's fantastic.
I'm still mad I couldn't make it for that.
But
yeah, so am I.
But that's a really good point right there, too. Like, you brought up that Rising Enemy had us as a part of their music video, or had us as a part of their audio. Bands, you can reach out. Do you need background chants? Do you need screams from, like, a massive crowd? Put a post out there. That's what Kyler went and did, and we were all there, and there was, like, what, 15 to 18 of us in a room.
It was a full house there.
Yeah, it was cramped
full
in the basement. I don't know
Yeah.
how Tony was able to get the other shit in there.
Right. And I mean, they put up a couple of mics above head. We all did our screams and followed the words along, and it was dope. That's connecting. That is allowing your fan base to have a chance to be a part of that. That's fantastic. It's amazing. And like right now, we didn't talk about that before. You just brought that up, and like, fuck yeah, they did do that. That's dope. But that's those ways that like bands can really touch base with their fan groups and be like, let's get them included. Let's make it inclusive.
You know, you could say like, hey, this is a really important show. We'll really love a big turnout. So if we sell X amount of tickets, our guitar player will wear pigtails. You could do that.
Yeah.
He's talking about Rising Enemy again. And Rising Enemy had something along those lines, and Casey had to play the whole set with pigtails. And we're talking this big, huge, bearded dude with just pigtails.
He's as close to Sasquatch as I've ever seen a human get, and I love him for it.
He is Lumberjack Bill through and through.
Lumberjack Bill.
I mean, it's just, but it's awesome. And those are the kind of things that I think are really important.
Yeah.
And even on that same day when we were done recording, you had Casey and Kat calling up. They fucking made food for everyone, and we were just in the living room bullshitting with everyone.
Yeah.
And that's something that is
We are a community at the end of the
absolutely
day.
unbreakable bond in my eyes, and I'm like really down to earth. What makes me an uber fan for them, just like I am for you and your band. The closeness, inclusiveness. I'm really loving these words because it keeps coming back.
Yeah, it really does. I think two of the big things that I really enjoy doing, and I'm just going to throw these out quick, is that I always try to shoot out at least one barbecue get together a year, except for pandemic time.
Yeah.
for just
Yeah, Mr.
anybody.
Inslee, get off our case.
Just for anybody who's a Papa Bear and Associates fan or a music fan to come on out and just have fun, hang out, all family friendly. Bring your kids. I'll have a trampoline. We'll have fun. And then the other one that I do every year is Friendsgiving. So that way, during Thanksgiving, anybody who's going through hard times, we can get together and just have a bullshit reason to get together and have food. And if we feel like doing a white elephant gift, cool. If enough people can't afford it, fuck it, don't worry about it. It's just the excuse to get together. Let me cook for everybody. Let's have a reason to just say fuck it and get together. And I love that kind of stuff. But so moving forward a little bit, we talked about how the promoters and the venue can kind of make it a little bit better for you as a fan. We talked about how the bands can make it better for you as a fan, just giving you that acknowledgement and, showing that you give a shit and you actually want to touch base with your fans. Now I'm on to a really specific, important one, and every band better listen very carefully during this time. This is important. Very. What are your favorite lines of merch from bands? Because I think bands really need to focus on this a lot more. So from the fan, not from me, not from Jan, not from the two goobers who fucking talk about this shit for all the time. What are your favorite pieces of merch you've ever purchased, or what do you wish would be pieces of merch that you could get your hands on more regularly?
Steak sauce condoms. Let's not lie. But
oh my God, if you do not tag them in that and
absolutely.
give them that snippet.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
and if they come back and it happens, we made a miracle, gentlemen.
We made America happen if that happens.
We finally made America great right there. But no, when it comes to like the actual merch, obviously the first thing I'm going to buy is a shirt just because it's basic and it's when you're out and about, more often than not, that's the first thing people notice that you're wearing.
Okay.
No, they're gonna wear it even. They're gonna notice it even more when you're not wearing one, though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, fuck, the wrong day I'll have the Rising Enemy logo shaved in my chest hair.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, I wear my shirts upside down for my sporting.
Yeah, that's true.
You should share the picture.
Oh, it'll be on there.
You
You don't even have to worry about that one. It'll be right there.
Okay.
But
Shirts?
Yes, shirts.
obviously the shirts, but not many people are even really doing hats, and that is so.
I kind of want to go
really brought in
back
to me
real quick. So when it comes to shirts, like, are there particular designs you look for? Are there things like, like, okay, this band has a shirt, cool, or whoa, that's a shirt I need to have. What band is that? Does that happen to you? Or what?
That happens to me a lot, and more often than not, it's usually the bands like The Festering or Zon, because they had a fucking dinosaur on the shirt. Naturally, my fat ass wants it.
No, they had a samurai riding a dinosaur. There's a much bigger. There's details you're missing.
Well, I'm not looking at the Mortal Kombat aspect of the shirt. I'm looking at the damn dinosaur.
No, but a samurai riding a dinosaur is still dope as fuck.
That's dope. I'm nobody's arguing that.
Because you've got that, and I'm like, all right, no one else I've seen put that kind of design on a shirt, so it's different. Or like how the Festering includes like old movie monsters.
Swamp
like,
Man.
You've got the Gill Man, you've got Bigfoot. I'm like, all right, I want both of those. Or you've got Knothead, to where you've got the praying hands, and you got a verse of the song on the back that's a little more into it and not just a logo. Mm-hmm. Something different that's not just the basic logo, like, what I'm doing.
Okay.
But like what Rising Enemy did with your design of Casey's pigtails. We're going to roast this shit on you, dude.
I mean, not just that their recent shirt was my design as well.
Yeah.
Which has the words, "And now you're triggered," after their most recent music video.
The only thing that triggered them really was the heat that day.
Yeah. Good job, Tony. Good job.
Okay, so what about so design really means something to you.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want cool, unique designs that stand out. Does colors or the type of shirt material that it's made out of, does any of that play a part for you?
If anyone's able to afford jersey styles, dude, you're easily going to get my fucking money.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
like regular cotton shirts, obviously, it's easily more affordable. But it's definitely more to the design. You can have black or white, you can have colors, doesn't matter. So long as what you have grabs someone's eye, it's like, what the hell is that? Mm-hmm. And even that one little bit, that could possibly spark someone else to either want to buy something from them and support them, or just be like, when's the next show? I want to see what the hell you're about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or even hats, because like I was saying, I think Rising Enemy is the only band I know that really actively sells hats and beanies and stuff like that. That's really popular, especially when we're starting to picking up the shows around end of August and things are going to start leading into fall. You're going to want the hats, you're going to want the beanies, you're going to want the hoodies that they even started doing. Different things outside of the normal shirts as well that you don't really see. Fuck, they even have their own damn bottle openers, dude. That's cool as fuck.
Right.
Important question here, as somebody who's part of a podcast. Would you ever wear a shirt that just says
Anal seepage.
And a fucking heartbeat.
Yeah. Boy. Yeah. Oh, they're coming. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
They better.
They will. But it's one of those things that, like, okay, so shirts and hats are, to me, like, well, let me phrase that. CDs, shirts, and hats are kind of like the staple baseline.
The basics.
For me. And now, hats for some people are hit or miss because depending on what your design.
wear 'em.
Well, you don't wear them, but like
I don't like
I'm
them.
a massive hat wearer.
I know.
I've always got a hat
But
on.
that's where you're like, they're definitely hit or miss.
Right. But my big thing for me is that a lot of bands, their emblems and their designs just can't really go to a hat. Those I kind of understand. Like sometimes it doesn't work. Like, and it's like, you're better off leaving that alone. Now, it might work better with a beanie because you don't have the seam lines and everything like that can work. Really try to think about that stuff because hats are a really big one that do play a good standard. And I don't know why the uprising of the dad hat has come back. Probably because everybody's tired of the big pop-up style ones. But, I mean, any kind of hat, it really doesn't matter. People want them. What is the, like, if you could say, I want one thing for every band to always have at shows, other than the shirt, other than the hat, what do you wish every band made a piece of merch of?
Individual toe socks.
Individual toe socks. Are you serious?
No, not at all.
Oh, I was going to say, because I've actually bought in bands merch that's like their socks, dude. Like, straight up, I could point you in the right direction.
But see, don't get me. Actually, yeah. If bands start putting out socks, you're gonna get gas money for me for goddamn sure. Because that's something you don't see every day. And I'm
It's
like, all right,
not.
I
You can get
definitely
'em
want
nice
some of
and
that.
crusty.
Or even things like wristbands. Obviously not watches. Different things like cheap rings and shit like that. Odd things like neckties, things that you don't see a lot or no one thinks about. Little stickers, decals, fake tattoos for kids or something could really even bring in a lot. That,
So we're going without the shirt after all.
I mean, you want me to? But that's kind of more where I focus on.
Okay. So, as far as things like the music, are you really worried about the CD age anymore? Have you moved straight to digital? I know a lot of bands really worry about this topic a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I will always buy the CDs no matter what because it's still owning a piece of them and you have physical copies. Mm-hmm. I'm a big person when it comes to physical copies. Like even video games, I don't like to buy digital because one accidental bump of your system, fuck, it's corrupted.
I still love you, Gaben.
Jesus. But whereas the physical copy, it's just as easy to fuck it up, but you have that in your hand, you're like, no, I can't do this. Mm-hmm. Play. I'd rather have that than digital, but unfortunately, with the way the world is, we all have to force our own evolution on that one. So,
But you would still buy CDs.
oh yeah,
at this
I'm
point.
still going to buy the CD no matter what. I'll still
Okay.
find a way to play it.
So remember that. We are not out of the CD phase yet. Like, it may be going in that direction, but people are still paying attention to that.
I
kind of
still
stuff.
buy CDs. I don't even have a CD player.
Like neither do I. A lot of vinyl players, like vinyl's coming back, a lot of vinyl players still have that CD slot in them now, so where you can still play it.
Oh, nice.
So,
I actually haven't seen a vinyl one with a CD slot yet, but I haven't had to look for a vinyl player in a long time. So,
Sure.
so
like the newer models still have that as well as the aux cable hookup, so you got 3 in 1.
okay.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you for answering that one. Let me check something right here because I had a couple little bullet notes that I wanted to go over.
4
He
inches.
has bullet notes.
Oh, that's the one I wanted. What was one of your hands down, like top favorite moments ever at a show? Like when you're thinking like, oh my God, these one or two
any show.
stand up, any show. Doesn't matter if it's a big national, doesn't matter if it's an underground show. What are like two moments that have always stood out to you as like, holy hell, that is like the echelon of what I want out of music shows? Oh, that smirk.
Yeah, I know. That's promising.
One of them, without a doubt, is definitely unfortunately, they're not even a band anymore. They're Heartsick Heroin now.
Oh, Scarlet Canary.
The Scarlet Canary show. Mm-hmm. Her voice was something I was not ready for, and the band played fucking phenomenally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I know you're not one for covers, but when she started singing Heartbreaker, I was, this is all sorts of love.
No. I don't have a problem with covers.
He has a problem with cover bands.
And if you're going to do a cover, that's perfectly fine. If you're going to be Five Finger Death Punch and build your whole career off of it now, just fuck away from me. The same with Disturbed. It's like, God damn it, I want to hear something other than your covers. Scarlet Canary, when they did that, holy fuck, they tore that shit up. I was totally down for that.
They still paid respect to Pat Benatar with it, yet they still made it their own, and it was absolutely beautiful.
I love a good cover, especially if it breaks genre lines. I love it.
Yeah.
And she was still out there. She had the stickers. She had the different shirt designs and everything. And she was still willing to hug and bullshit with people, laugh and make jokes. That's something that we already know that I love so much. Another one.
Hang on. Before you move on from Scarlet Canary, I'll let you think on this while I say this. Scarlet Canary / Heartsick Heroin is who they are now. Yep. But one of the things that I absolutely adored, and I don't want anyone to take offense to this, but one of the things that I ultimately respected about Scarlet Canary was that she didn't feel like she had to go up there in like a low top, a crop top. She went up there dressed in like a really nice, beautiful shirt that had like some frills and had some designs on it. She didn't over-sexualize her set. And not saying that a lot of women do. And if you do, power to you. Do what you want to do. I have no qualm with that. But I remember her getting up there and doing that and hearing comments from other women in the crowd saying, oh, it's so nice to see that she's not like trying to wear like the super skin tight, skimpy stuff and all this stuff like that. She went up as herself. And one of the things that was cool too is she made damn sure to talk with everybody that wanted to talk with her.
Exactly.
She made it clear that she was open, she was inviting. If there was kids there, she was all about that. She was really cool about how open she was with her community and wanting to be there. That and they're huge nerds as well. I think in Heartsick Heroin, they're covering WWE and old wrestling, fucking cover songs and stuff like that for that. I just think that's so fantastic.
But the pipes on that woman in general. Just
dude, her voice is amazing.
Yes.
She can sing the beautiful cleans. She can sing the angries. Mm-hmm. And we're not talking like the angries of like, Ginger style. We're not talking that level.
Just texture.
But fuck, can she hit
like
some fucking angry tones.
Like she's got that hard power with a little bit of a grunge in her throat, and it was just phenomenal.
Yeah, fantastic.
Like her voice and like Summer from Third Park Avenue, again, beautiful, and she doesn't over-sexualize anything. She's there being herself and having fun with it, which is another thing I'm definitely looking forward to with the next show, because it's been
August
forever since I've seen Third Park.
Kind of weird.
No.
One at a time, goddammit, you're the sound guy.
No, he's not.
No, I'm not.
You're the editor.
No, he's not.
No, I'm not.
We'll work on it.
I'm the photographer. It's in the fucking name of the podcast.
We'll figure it out.
But no, and just so we're clear too. Now, if you're a woman who enjoys wearing the tighter clothes, showing off your
Wear
body,
what you like, nobody cares.
because you've been hitting the gym and you want to sport that shit, power to you.
Even if you haven't been hitting the
that.
gym, doesn't matter. Wear what you like. Wear what you're comfortable.
Well, it's not the fact of if you've been hitting the gym.
I know.
But I'm just saying
kidding.
they've been working on their figure and they want to represent that.
Even if they don't care.
And you're missing the point.
Be comfortable with who you are.
Be comfortable with who you are. But remember, too, that sometimes your fan base isn't in that comfort zone. So sometimes when you're not, and somebody like that steps up and shows that they're okay with being themselves and they're not the perfect 10, but they're proud of who they are and they're fucking all about the confidence of, I am me. That really stands out. And that's all I was getting at. So please don't take offense. I did not mean anything like bad on that level. I want everyone to perform the way they want to perform. Plus, it's not like we can't say that like it's not a selling market. We understand that it's a tactic. You know, it was just cool to see that and how many people were responding to that at that show. Now, moving forward, away from Scarlet Canary, Heartsick Heroine.
The first show I ever went to, and when you got me hooked as a fan for life and crossed a band off my bucket list, the Power Man show.
Oh, fuck, that was a great show. Power Man 5000.
The second I heard about that, I remember, like, that's bullshit. It's not on their tour lines. Like, give it a day or two, sure as shit. Boom, right there. I'm like, yep, we gotta go. I'm gonna fuck. I'll sell shit. I gotta see this band. And that's when I first met you. And then everything just blew off on that point. I had a starting point and a memory that's never gonna die. And the band was fucking awesome.
Yeah. No, Power Man 5000 is still gone down as a lot of people's like, holy shit, that was the moment we knew you were like existence, you know, because nobody really knew Papa Bear and Associates. And I had tried taking some shots at like some bigger underground bands and stuff like that. When I booked Power Man 5000, it was literally not even supposed to happen. It was me and my wife's anniversary date. We were not canceling it for anything or anyone. And then somebody hit me up on the promotion line and they were like, hey, you feel like booking a Power Man 5000? Fuck yeah, I do. When? This date. I think it was October something and something. Towards the end of it. It was closer to Halloween, like 18th, 20-something, somewhere around there. And my wife was like, I went to my wife, I was like, okay, I have a choice for you. And she's like, what? I was like, you can't get mad at me, and I want you to be honest about it. And she's like, what? I was like, I can book Power Man 5000 right now, but I have to make the decision within the next 2 hours. And she was like, oh my God, you should do it. Like, she's a huge Power Man 5000 fan. Huge Power Man 5000
Bigger
fan.
than you are.
Way bigger
way
than
bigger.
me.
Yeah.
Way bigger than me. She loves that band.
Definitely supersedes the Tony Hawk Pro Skater love.
It's outrageous how much she really likes that band. And she was like, yes, do it right now. I was like, but we have to give up our anniversary trip. And she was like, motherfucker, book Power Man. And I was just like, you're sure? And she's like, yeah, do it. And I was like, you're sure? She's like, do I get to meet them? I was like, I will make damn sure you get to meet them.
So fuck yeah. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
you're sacrificing something. Damn right, I'm going to let something work.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure it works out. And it's still always so cute that I don't know if I've talked about it on here before, I believe. And I was like, hey, Spider, I'm not trying to be that guy, but I was wondering if you would be willing to talk to my wife. He's like, oh, it's all good. You are that guy, but that's fine. Just nonchalantly. He wasn't being rude. He was smiling at me. He was joking with me. And I was just like, okay. And I was like, this is my wife. She's actually the only reason why I was able to book you, because our anniversary trip was supposed to be this weekend. And I canceled it because she really loves you. And she's like, no, I would rather have you book Power Man because I'm a huge fan. And my wife was all like, hi. Getting to meet Spider and fucking do all that shit. It was totally worth it just to see my wife. My wife likes music. She's not a live music goer, crazy kind of person like me. She likes music. I've never seen her jittery and skittish.
I've never seen a jittery, period.
Right.
Never.
Meeting somebody, and that was like enough right there. That was enough for me at that moment. But yeah, Power Man was a fucking hell of a show. Massive turnout. The bar across the street literally closed their doors and put a sign up on the door that says, closed for 2 hours to go see Power Man 5000. Will reopen. Be right back.
That's how you know you made it. You killed your competition across the street.
Literally, as soon as they heard it, they were like, what? They closed their doors and walked the fuck over and came in.
That's beautiful.
I was like, that's so great. But yeah, so those two shows were like the two that stood out to you. You said those. How did they make you feel afterwards? Like, what did that do for you after those shows?
After the Power Man show, I finally feel like we definitely have a good music scene here. We've got the good environment. We got the good people that clearly know what the hell they're doing. And that was just such a cool feeling to have, because for the longest time, I'm like, I couldn't think of anywhere to go. Like, I never wanted to go to the Town Crier. No offense.
Well, they're more of like cover bands and smaller bands and stuff like that. Not my wheelhouse usually either.
And at the time, I'd never even gone to the Emerald of Siam, never even really heard of it either. Mm-hmm. And plus, it was 3 minutes from my house. I was like, this is right here. Mm-hmm. This is fucking perfect. The venue wasn't really all that small. It was perfect for what we were doing. It was all inclusive. We had all ages. We were able to provide something for everybody, and that's where I was like, this is what we need. This is what was perfect for everybody.
Yeah.
Then with the Scarlet Canary show, like I think we had Highway Bend on that one, as well as
We had Third Park Avenue.
we had Third Park Open, we had Highway Bend, we had Jagged Edge right before
Yeah.
Scarlet Canary.
Was it Highway Bend or
No.
Hardway Bend?
The Hardway Bend, were they on that lineup? The band is Hardway Bend. I'm just not sure
Okay,
if they were on there.
it was Hardway Bend then.
Yeah. Yeah, that sound. Were they on that lineup?
I will do some
I don't
research
remember
for you.
that.
I swear I thought they were. And I'm sorry for fucking up the name.
Oh, no, it's fine.
That's
It
okay.
Dude, you know how many times I do this on episodes?
We have had to dub over multiple
Stickney.
episodes. Yeah.
Well, we messed up and said the wrong name for Pound. Their drummer, his name's David Stickney, but we called him Nate or Patrick. I can't remember.
One of the two, yeah.
And we went back and we heard the episode. It's like, Blaine, you got to come back down here and overdub this. I was like, why? What happened? It's like, we said the wrong name. It's David Stickney. So that's why we say that every once in a blue moon, folks.
I can't find the event fast enough.
And that's fine. I'm not that stressed on it. So,
But it introduced more of the women of the genre that I was new to seeing with the locals, and that's where I fell in love with Third Park and Summer's Voice and hanging out with those guys, being able to support them. And you had Jagged Edge cover band, but they were really good with what they were doing. Seeing Joaquin rock the guitar, seeing what John was able to do.
oh, there's great
and,
members in that
and their
band that are-
bassist was fucking awesome.
Yeah. No, they actually have like all of them pretty much have bands except for the singer and I think the bassist, if I remember correctly. But all of them have individual bands, just something they do on the side as well. So,
Yeah.
And like I said, it was just, to me, it was more a women empowerment kind of thing, and it was really awesome to see, especially with as strong as those leading women were with their voice as well as their performance and show skills. It was
No?
that was actually the goal I was going for that night. Was it's like, this is like the ladies coming out and kicking some ass night. Like, we're here to prove a point. You know, we got this shit.
And they definitely stomped their fucking staple for sure, because I still put the Scarlet Canary songs on and just rock to holy shit.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I can't wait to hopefully try and see Heartsick Heroin anytime soon if they're near around here.
Yeah. No, we definitely should tag them on this episode as well.
We should.
So
We should.
That way we can be like, haha, we'd still talk about you. But cool. Okay. So, but that just really opened up your eyes that it's like, hey, there's music here. There's a community here. Like, we can still do this. Like, that's kind of what Power Man opened up your eyes to. And then the Scarlet Canary was kind of like, holy shit, this just gave me the opposite end of, you know, or not the opposite end, the different side of, hey, it's not all about just guys getting up here being sweaty messes. Like, there's some women out here who fucking take names and kick ass.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Might still be sweaty messes. We don't know.
well, I'm sure you don't get off stage not being a sweaty mess, regardless of what sex you are. But it's one of those things that it's like, you could see that it's like, hey, this isn't just a one-sided coin. Like, there is definitely some underground bands that are still kicking ass, female-fronted, and there's no argument for that whatsoever. It kind of opened your eyes to a whole nother side of things.
It really made me appreciate the openness to the diversity of the entirety of the community that we had.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, okay. So we got that. How do you find live shows to go to?
You two usually bug me.
That's fair. But
Yeah, that's
do you
realistic.
have, okay. So we'll skip that one because that's
Yeah.
probably the most fair.
Yeah.
How do you find new music?
Ooh. I'm usually looking up new and upcoming underground people on Spotify. The different bands that I know nothing about that you put out there and promote. God damn, Porky Pig's time. There's your outro right there. anal, sausage.
Sorry, I had to.
Fuck, I forgot what the hell we were talking about.
We were talking about how do you find new music. You go
yeah.
through
Right, yeah.
Spotify, you find them through the underground side of things. Bands that I put out there and promote.
And then it almost kind of just strings from them, because then even within that, like, well, you heard that and enjoyed this, maybe you could enjoy that. Mm-hmm. Or even just when we were hanging out around here playing random ass shit on Jan's computer, I'm like, I butter the bread with butter. Like, what the hell is this? And why have I not heard this before? Or just like I was showing you guys Bloodywood, and you're like, damn, this is a lot better than I kind of thought it would be. Mm-hmm. And
I got to introduce you to The Who without Jacoby Shaddix.
Yeah.
I've gotten to introduce you to a whole shit ton of music.
Yeah.
I don't even have to go down a list.
No, there's a list.
I don't think we have enough time on the podcast, man.
We don't. That's just rabbit hole after rabbit hole.
So you pretty much do it based off of Spotify and what's on the line, more or less, from like
personal connections.
Right, but you know, unless he's hanging out with friends, it's mostly going on Spotify and then kind of like just checking out what's being promoted out there and stuff of that nature. Do you go to live shows even if you don't know any of the bands?
I will occasionally, but usually if I don't know the bands, more often than not, I'm like, nothing rings a bell. But if I have other people going with me, like, yeah, all right, we'll see what's going on. Even if the bands, suck. There's like a McDonald's across the way, or there's another bar we can go to. Like, the drinks are going to be better than this. Like, what the hell was that?
I mean, I've been there.
No, I've been there too.
Well, I know. I saw you at the bar.
So on that note, would you say that it is very important to still have lineups that at least have one band that are known in that area then?
To bring in the familiarity. Like, that's what I really love about the Drip, because anytime they do a show, they bring an entourage with them to where it looks like the thing's more open, and people are going to be like, all right, there's live music and there's a handful of people in there. Let's go check it out. It's kind of like doing a yard sale or a lemonade stand. You fake them out by putting money in the tip jar and like, all right, these people don't suck. And that's what I think really benefits, because you have that drawing point with people like me who are curious, but not curious enough if there's nothing they don't know.
Right. So you need that at least some level of familiarity before you can feel like, yeah, I'm going to this one. Even if it's like all bands you don't know, and I've put up like video clips and stuff like that of like their music, it's still kind of like, yeah, but I don't really know anyone there. I don't really know any of these bands. So you like that little bit of like, cool, it could be a 4-band lineup, and as long as there's one there that I at least can attach to and grab to, you feel more comfortable about that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, that's important to know, because from a promoter's perspective, every time I've ever tried to do lineups where it's like all of these bands kick so much ass, but no locals were available, do I bail on the show and say, sorry guys, I don't have that available because I don't have any locals to open up for you? Or do I still go for it and hope people show up? Well, every time I've ever hoped for it and gone for it, people don't show up. And that's one of those things that I think a lot of bands and promoters need to hear, is that there needs to be some level of familiarity, or else it just doesn't grab the same way. You got to have something in there, in that lineup, that's like, this is at least reliable, faithful, and I know I enjoy it, and I'm always going to have fun with it. And that's why so many out-of-towners, like, you need a local on your bill.
And I think the smart way to do it, and you've done this a couple of times, don't make the familiar local the first one to start. Make them like the second or third, to where the people who come to see them, they might still be bullshitting outside by the fire or smoking cigarettes, but they're still there to hear what's going on. And if the opening bands are like, hey, what the hell is this? Hold on. Just ash that out, go inside, get a Rainier or something, and just pay attention to what's going on. Like, damn, these guys kick ass. Mm-hmm. That's, to me, would be the ultimate way to do it, and you're really good at what that is.
Fair. Thank you. I appreciate that. How do you feel about mixed genres shows?
I actually have a lot of fun with them.
You do? You
Yes.
actually really like those? So, like, say, like,
But he also shows up to them, which is rare.
Right. So
Every single one I try.
Well, but the thing
Yeah.
is like, what makes you enjoy mixed genre shows?
The, I guess, spontaneity, to where, like, okay, I'm going here because I know I'm going to enjoy one more than the other, so regardless, I'm still going to go, but I could be in for a wild roller coaster, like, damn, this is actually something new, and I could be into that, or, all right, looks like we're going outside.
That's fair.
Like, a perfect example would be that Halloween horror show where we had Dead Animal Assembly Plant and Toxic Zombie.
The thrash of horror.
Because that was a mixed genre show. You had two people before them, and then
We had thrash metal, and we had more. I consider Toxic Zombie horror rock, horror punk, and then Toxic Zombie, which is industrial, or not Toxic Zombie, Dead Animal Assembly Plant.
We'll get there eventually,
dude. There's so many band names to try to remember. Dead Animal Assembly Plant, who's industrial, and I mean, it was a fantastic night. But I mean, that's the night where we got to see Railgun.
Yep.
And we also got to see Bomb Scare.
Yeah.
And those guys were just two fucking amazing thrash bands. And I was like,
the way Bomb Scare lit that place up, dude, it was fucking great.
dude,
Yeah.
that was when Railgun came, and their singer, for some reason, couldn't make it on the tour. I think he got really sick right before it was supposed to happen. So the guitarist was doing it, and it was like fucking amazing.
If they wouldn't have told me that beforehand, I would have never known.
I would have thought their guitarist was the lead singer the whole
Yeah.
fucking time.
I didn't fucking know. I was today years old. That's
Yeah, like, so this guy never made it.
Yeah.
And this guy was the one doing all the
I
singing.
remember he was the one up front.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they fucking slayed. And then Dead Animal Assembly Plant blew everybody the fuck away. And same with Toxic Zombie. I mean, they were just fun.
Yeah.
Dead Animal Assembly Plant was like the, holy shit, this is a show, like with all of his masks and his knives and shit that he was doing.
Again, performance art.
Performance art.
It's like, yeah, he puts on that kind of.
He had 5 or 6 costume changes.
He had 4, and he had the Plague Doctor mask.
Yeah.
He had the pig mask, and I think a couple of them might have been made by Hunter, the guy who makes my stuff.
I think they make a lot of them themselves too.
No,
Yeah.
they actually use help from another company as well, and I can't remember the name of it. And
Let me rephrase that. I know they've been building a lot during the pandemic.
right.
Like, I know the drummer also makes a bunch of his own stuff. I can't remember. I think it's
So
Jason.
the drummer actually, can you
Scored.
grab that? No, I don't want to make you move. So what the drummer does and what the singer does is they're really good at like welding and metaling. And so like they took this wrench and they turned it into a throwing dagger. And then they have like axes that they make from saw blades and all sorts of stuff. The costumes are done by a company, and I'm going to find that, and I want you to put the link up right here for it, because that company that makes their like their coats, and well, he's put me towards them too for a new Captain Dad bod costume, and but because of the pandemic, it kind of fell to the wayside.
Okay.
But that company does amazing work, and they do stuff for all over the states. They've done stuff for movies. I mean, they make the whole coats, the clothing, the spikes, the customized everything, and they are fantastic. I will get you the link for that so we can put that in here.
We'll find it.
But yeah. So I lost track.
And then that show was also because you wanted to try and bring a horror aspect, and I ended up being the only one who actually dressed up for it. And you're like, fucking finally, someone paid the hell attention.
Hey, I was looking pretty scary. Wait, that's just how I look.
I said, yeah, because you had no long hair.
Yeah, no shit.
And I think it was just after.
I was just after. I was still in a suit.
I was about to say, I think things just happened right before that.
After.
Disclosure. But, but then that was also the birth of the Jurassic Kai costume, and it just became my staple for Papa Bear shows. It was the exclusive. No one else gets that. No one else gets me covered in blood with raptor claws in my pockets and shit.
Fair.
So he dresses up wearing the Jurassic Kai costume. You wear a vest.
There's a picture on the screen right now.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Right here, right now.
I can't.
I can. Anyway.
He will.
He will. In a world gone mad,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Jan had to listen to Blaine ramble, and his wiener got hard.
His wiener may be hard, but nothing's harder than family.
Jeez.
Peanut butter.
nope, that's coming. That's coming.
So anyway, what were we talking about? What brought up this
you were
show?
talking about
Mixed genre shows.
Mixed genre shows. That's right. So you do enjoy them, though. You actually don't get turned away by those, as long as you still have that little bit of familiarity, because that show had no locals.
But yeah, that show had no local. It was because I'm such a horror dork, and you brought that out, and I saw the poster, and I saw zombies kind of like cover photo from Facebook. I was like, I got to see what they're about.
Okay.
And then I'm a huge lover of industrial rock, that just hard grunge tune to it. I'll never say no. And
Okay.
everything was fucking gorgeous with that show.
Yes. No, that was a great show.
So let me see, because I'm running this through my head as you're saying it, and I'm kind of processing it. Would that mean that you're fine with shows that don't have any locals on them, so long as they bring something interesting to the plate that I can actually show in the promotional material?
Yeah.
So as long as it's got something that's like, cool, we've got something that stands out. They're like all garbed up in costumes, or all garbed up as zombies. That thing that stood out to you, it's all good as long as you have something that's eye-catching for you on that front.
Yeah, because the eyes capture everything first.
Right.
And obviously the ears come out later, because you're going to look at that and just be like, yeah, not for me. But
It's a gut reaction.
exactly.
Okay. No, that's good for me to put into my mental Rolodex. So we're getting pretty close to the wrap-up point on this.
God, my ass hurts. This chair is horrible.
And honestly, I think I've covered all the main topics that I'm really worried about that I had for bullet point notes. Is there anything that you want to throw out there towards the end of, like, being a super fan, being a fan of, like, what you would like to see, what you wish more people would do, or any last thoughts, anything of that nature?
Toe socks.
Toe socks. If anyone's got the hookup, just let me know.
Oh, like I said, I'll point you towards a couple.
I guess my whole thing is everyone's saying they want something, then end up, once they have it, they don't do it. Kind of like someone says they'll go to your show and they don't.
No, nobody goes to your show. This is the reality of being a local musician.
Well, yeah, that's why I stopped being a comedian. No one went. There was one guy in the audience. It was a fucking conversation at that point. I'm like, dude, what the? Leave.
Have you tried being funny?
No, I can't.
I can't right now.
I mean, if I want to be funny, I could just read them your bio
Yeah, that's true.
and your dating history.
And his Tinder profile. Ooh.
Tinder? You mean Grinder? Let's go.
Yeah.
I've seen the bathhouses around the town. But
Oh, Lord.
along with that, people constantly are saying, I wish there was live music around here, and I can point them to every direction, whether it's a Papa Bear show or not. Like, we've got the Uptown alone has 3 fucking venues that do it. You've got the Uptown Theater itself, you've got the Emerald of Siam, you've got the Town Crier. Even occasionally, I saw some at the Uptown bar that you and I go to occasionally. Like, there's that right there. Even places out in Pasco. The Dugout out in Pasco, I think, is starting to do them. The Out and About does DJ dance nights and a couple other things.
Direct Me nights, too.
Yeah. I missed the show last night. I was kind of pissed.
It's all local entertainment. That's the whole point. There's so much of it, and you're right. It's real easy for people to say, "Oh, there's nothing there when you don't show up." Yeah, of course not.
Right.
Well, there's nothing there, and everyone's like, well, that's just local. I'm like, every single person, every single band, every comedian, every famous person started as a local.
Yeah.
It started at some point. They were in a dive bar. They were in the backyard.
Yep.
A lot of these people played empty venues to 3 people, and 2 of them were their family.
Well, think about Powerman 5000, too.
Yeah.
Powerman 5000 was the king de la crop back in their prime. They were playing huge amphitheaters, selling those out left and right. And they came and played my humble little spot just shy of 300 capacity.
Yeah. Them, Ginger.
Ginger did it, too,
Ginger
before they
was-
had their
yeah.
blow-up. Yeah.
They blew up in Europe well before they came over here, but they
Right.
were not big here. The fact that you got them in the small venue you did was a miracle.
Yeah.
The week after that, they went to Canada and headlined Hellfest.
Yep.
It was wild.
So
Yeah, they went from our little village to
Yeah.
there.
Our shit village, to quote it properly.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where it's just like, it all starts at the small points, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and sometimes the big dogs come back and do that. I mean, it just giving
Well,
it that shot.
The other thing too is they just go and imagine. Let's say you're, an older metalhead. Let's say, and back in the day you didn't really want to support your local scene. Can you just imagine if you would have had the chance to see Metallica at a show with 20 people, where you would have been able to shake their hands and talk to them about music, and now you're looking back, I was like, fuck, why didn't I go to local shows? Don't be that person.
Yeah, don't live in the fucking regret station, man. Just go, because you never know who it could be, because you could have a fucking story that you can tell someone like, yeah, I went and saw them right here. Like, fuck, my dad back in Seattle at the off-ramp, he was hanging out with Pearl Jam back when they were Mother Love Bone, before they even picked up Eddie Vedder at the gas station.
Yeah.
Got to hang out with Nirvana. Cobain's a whiny bitch. If you edit that out, I'm haunting you.
I wouldn't dare. I might just like throw a big old boost on it.
Careful, Courtney Love might come after your ass.
Might come after yours.
But yeah.
Why? Because I look like she did in the 90s? I mean, you've got her hair now.
I'm out.
Anyway, but the point you're getting at.
It's just, you never know who you can see. That whether you have the familiarity or not, just going out and that little bit of support could be the difference of them signing with a record or finishing their CD or getting their stuff out there. You could be the person who helps them do that, or you could just say you saw them before they were huge.
Yep.
The big thing is that even just one person can make a difference to a band.
Absolutely.
And that motivates people. That gets people inspired to do more and do better. So I completely understand that. But at the same time, you have to be willing to get up and give it a shot. Like, sometimes you got to take a risk on things. Sometimes you'll see bad bands. Sometimes you'll see good bands. Sometimes you'll see phenomenal bands. Sometimes it'll be fun. Sometimes it'll just be like, man, let's go to the McDonald's across the street. You know, it's just, you got to try, though. If you never put the effort in, you'll never know.
And seeing that point right there with the McDonald's across the street, 9 times out of 10, you're going to spend less money going to see the live bands than you are at the Clown. A lot of places around here, $5, $10 cover charge, and you get to see 3 or 4 fucking bands. That's
You don't know how much I love my dollar value McNuggets, bro.
There are no dollar menus anymore.
What?
yeah, dude. Where the
Fuck that,
hell
we're
have
going
you
to
been?
shows.
The dollar menu died off a while back.
They don't even do all day breakfast anymore, bro.
Yeah, they took away that again, too.
Man.
That really pissed me off.
He's going to ruin his reputation.
Yeah,
Ronald, that one clown with more body count than Pennywise. Fuck.
yeah, it's going to.
Yeah,
But,
unfortunately.
Yeah, anyway.
okay, well, cool. So that's a good message to leave things off on. So now I think it is time
It is.
for the place where we all come together and talk about who you reppin'. Let's go ahead and start with you, Kyler. Who you reppin' today?
Naturally, I always got to rep my boys at Rising Enemy.
Yeah.
Been talking about them the whole show. Kind of been obnoxious about it.
It's all good. They like it. Trust me.
They're pretty
Yeah, I know.
obnoxious themselves. It's fine.
Yeah, Cody's a whore for the attention.
Yep.
You don't even know. Always with that chapstick trying to perk up his lips so he's ready for you.
Well, I mean,
I love you, bro.
they're all whores for attention. How many of them are about to be dads now?
Oh, Jesus.
They are.
I think only one of them's not going to be a dad. No, two. We got Casey. Is it all of them?
Yeah, I think.
No, their bass player isn't pregnant either yet, I don't think.
I
Well, I hope
don't
it's
think
having-
any of
I
their
hope
band
it's not
members
him.
are pregnant.
I hope it's not him.
Oh, my God.
I'm breaking modern science, folks.
Patrick's having twins.
Yep. Poor bastard. Yeah, we'll hope for one more. Dun dun.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to
I
guess.
was going to say, like, that's theirs to the chair. But no, they're all, like, they've been having family updates during the pandemic. But yeah, no, they've been pulling out some awesome stuff musically.
No, they haven't been pulling out at all. That's the problem.
God damn it, Kyler.
This is when nobody shows up to your comedy.
That's why I just had you
Because
laughing.
they got triggered.
Hey, got him.
But anyway. But yeah, so Rising Enemy, our local homies, really good guys, used to be in a band called The Vine That Ate the South, and then they evolved into Rising Enemy with some new members. What do you guys classify them as? I don't really classify them as, like, metal. I don't know what the best way to put them would be.
I think Cody once clarified themselves as like new age political rock, which to me kind of made sense.
That makes sense.
Especially with the Triggered song and
New Age political rock / metal.
Yeah.
I think would be a good
like
way
they've
to
got
put
the
it.
metal tones in there in some aspects.
Yeah.
But I definitely classify him as the political rock, and I love every bit of it.
There you go.
There you go.
Who you got, Jan?
Well, I'm going a little bigger than local today. I'm repping Eluvaiti. Eluvaiti being, I think they're Swiss. They are a bigger band. They're signed with, I believe, Nuclear Blast. They are folk metal. Folk metal with really weird instruments. They're one of the few bands I know with a lute, a flute, a hurdy-gurdy, a harpsichord, and bagpipes. And they play amazing metal. They've been my ringtone for the last 12 years. It's, yeah, and I absolutely love them. They're one of the reasons that I got into vocals myself.
Nice. And say the name for it one more time.
Eluvaiti.
Elevaiti? Mm-hmm. Okay. You might put that... Oh, you do. You
Yeah,
put
I
the
put
little
the
tags
logos
up.
every time.
Well, no,
Come on
just so
now.
that way people can understand
Yeah.
it and look it up themselves. Because,
yeah,
I mean,
no, that-
foreign languages are a little bit hard to spell out for people.
They also they do sing in English as well as Gaelic. They also have one particular song which I just think is an absolute. It's completely clean vocals. They have a soprano singer as well as a screaming male frontman. But they have a song called "The Call of the Mountains." It is a song. It's a love song to the Alps, and it is sung in every language that is officially a language of Switzerland.
Nice.
So it's they have 4 or 5 different versions of this song just so they could do that, and I think it's absolutely dope.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a really cool idea.
I love it.
All
So
right.
Blaine, I gotta ask, who you repping?
I am representing Primitive Dog. Wait a minute. That's not right. It's Primitive Man. So, Primitive Man is a death sludge band. Fucking, if you've never heard it, it's like just the epitome of like rattles your balls, just doom,
Yep.
death, sludge, craziness, and it's
Murder
over
with
the
a side
top.
of tickle.
Yeah, that's one way to put
Tickle.
it. So, Primitive Man, a while back, they made these shirts for Primitive Dog, and the reason was because one of the members' dogs was about to pass away, and they needed to try to raise up money really quickly to pay for the vet bills, try to save the dog. Unfortunately, the dog did not make it in time. Very, very sad story, but the guy was like, hey, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this money that all of you guys have been giving to me, and I'm going to put it towards the animal shelter and taking care of animals that are in need right now. And it was really touching, like all of the span of like a 24-hour period on this guy's Facebook post and Primitive Man's posts. And it was just really cool. What I want is,
Goes like,
this is actually a cover of one of their albums, but it's Primitive Dog, and they're saying that the album is called Bite. I'm going to have Jan
Yeah, I was gonna read it out because
the
that's just
back of it,
amazing.
because it's
So,
just really
the
touching.
back also has a picture of the dog, and it says, "Never enough treats through this life. I must bark, protecting the human, wagging my tail at all costs. Fuck the pound. I am beast. I bite. I love. Humanity will carry my poop in a bag for eternity."
Amen.
And that's a play on some of the lyrics
Yes.
from one of their songs. And I was all about trying to help the guy out, because it was like, man, no one should ever have to lose their babies that way. So I pitched in, and he said that, you know, hey, to everybody that pitched in, I'm still going to make the shirts that we were making to kind of like give back to people for donating towards the dog. And I was like, hell yeah, I still want it. And if there's anything I can do, let me know. But yeah, Primitive Man, super awesome band. If you've never caught them, they will. If you like doom, sludge, fucking crazy, then that's your band right there. Primitive Man is fantastic. But with that being said, that's who we reppin'.
Yeah.
So, anybody got any last words or thoughts before we? Actually, I do.
Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, ring the bell button.
And if you don't like us, hit it twice.
Yeah.
But what I was going to bring up is that shows are coming back, free shows, as a matter of fact, with Papa Bear and Associates. What I am bringing first on the plate is August 7th with Sleep Signals, Rising Enemy, and Third Park Avenue. It is a free show. We do have tickets online. They are free tickets. What these are for is for locking in your place to enjoy the show. So more or less, if we get to capacity, the people who did those tickets will have a guaranteed access first. Then if you want to still show up and just walk through the door free last minute, that's perfectly fine as well. We have not gone through all the tickets, so there is room for that kind of stuff. Come on down, just have fun. We have expanded at the Tin Hat, so our outside area is much bigger now, so our capacity is much higher now. and we're just going to have a lot of fun. We've been revamping out there. Shanna at the Tin Hat and the crew have been doing a fantastic job. New stage, new layout, fire pits, new
it looks
covered
phenomenal.
areas. It's fantastic. It looks great out there.
You can have a cigarette and watch the band.
Yeah, see,
At
big,
the same time.
gigantic sell point right there.
Dude, you don't even
Yeah.
know. That's a huge selling point for a lot of people. And we hold shows outside so that way people can just have fun and not have to worry about it. But yeah, so that's the first of the announced free shows. There is another one that is coming in September, on September 10th. I just haven't dropped the full lineup, but it is going to be a punk night. So, also a free show. Hope to see you all there. As Jan had stated, like, subscribe, comment, check us out on Papa Bear and Associates on Facebook. Make sure to hit us up at papabeargigs@hotmail.com if you have any... Or just leave a comment, or hit us up at papabeargigs@hotmail.com if you're wanting to throw us any topics or suggestions. And also, if you want to be a guest on the show, hit us up. Another thing, too, is papabeargigs@hotmail.com is also for all you bands out there looking for shows. It's showtime. Bow, bow, bow. So that means I'm looking for more bands. The more I get, the more we have.
Sorry, it's showtime what? Okay, that's what I thought.
But I'm looking for bands. You got a style, you got a type, you want to do it, let's throw down. Shoot me emails, papabeargigs@hotmail.com, papabear, Gigs, gigs@hotmail.com. I want to book you and your crew. So,
I've been told that the best way to make sure you're noticed is to send pictures of your cat.
Why?
Send pictures of your cat. Just do it.
but I'm a dog dude.
That's okay.
Send them to
pictures of
Jan's
bears.
OnlyFans.
Send pictures of your cat. No, that's only for fans, not for cats. Just fans.
What about fans of cats?
No, sorry, only fans.
Are you telling me
They're
you're not a fan
only
of pussy?
fans for cats.
Just fans. Just super fans like Kyler. Just Kyler. Really, it's just Kyler.
So he's asking you to put me in cat ears and put me in sexual positions.
I mean,
That-
Summer
he
was
wants
here on the
that.
last episode and had cat ears.
Yeah.
What's your excuse?
I have fur. Like, I already have the fur. She had the
I think
ears.
between our guests, we can complete one whole cat. That's going to be the goal.
Jesus Christ. So if anyone out there secretly has a tail and would like to join Papa Bear and Associates, please let us know in the comments.
Oh, God, I love it.
Okay, we'll see you next time, Casey.
Anyway, also keep an eye out too. We hope you all enjoyed the new intro video. The set is coming along. We are going to be having a new setup here soon, so hopefully we'll be able to show that off. It might just be our special thing for episode 20 if we can pull that off in time. So
We'll see.
we'll see.
We'll see.
But we're going to be revamping, new set, new styles, new intros, new outros, new everything. So get ready for that because Papa Bear is ready to go crazy now that live music is back. We are also going to be doing live interviews with bands at shows. So if you are ready for that, make sure to keep an eye out because it'll be a new segment that we'll be doing. It will not be a part of the BPMs. It will be its own segment. BPM is our place to have our conversations that we like to have for the longer periods of time. That being said, this one's run long enough and we love you all. Say goodbye, boys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Notice me, senpai.
Oh, let's ooh woo to say goodbye. And what the fuck? Did I just enter? I entered him. I entered both of them.
Same time.
Whoa! Much love to you
Yogi.
all. Oh, boo boo. All right. Love.
Bye.
Papa Bear and Associates does not take any responsibility for sexual complications while listening to this program. Side effects have been known to include sweating, extended and unexpected erections, perked nipples, butt clenching, inflammation of the testicles, and anal seepage. Furthermore, if you are experiencing any of these symptoms, you should make sure to send us your non-graphic pictures for our viewing pleasure. Thank you and much love.